Hello there, everybody, and welcome back to the 5th episode of the podcast here. We're recording it slightly differently this week. There's 3 of us in the same room, so if the audio quality isn't the same as what we're used to or a little echoey, we're sorry, but it won't be that bad. As always, I am Mickey, this is my YouTube channel, and with me again this week is our faithful co-host Bebsey.
Hello.
As always, his link will be in the description beneath. Now we have the 2 guests for this week, 2 personal friends of mine, and they're going to introduce themselves, and if they'd like, they can promote their YouTube stuff or anything else.
Okay. Hi, I'm Ryan. I don't have a YouTube. Well, I actually do, but forget that.
I'll find it.
Next guy, since I don't know what else to say.
Hi, I'm Eoin. I've been on some of the podcasts we've tried before. I don't really have a YouTube channel because I don't like being in front of the camera.
Or your voice.
Or my voice, or recording my voice. I probably won't listen to this.
Seems the guy showed the camera in his face.
But, yeah, that's pretty much it.
So with regards to what we've kind of been playing recently, then Eoin, what have you been up to in the past week or so?
Well, as you know, I've been sort of buried in uni work, so I haven't been playing an awful lot of games, but what I have been playing has been mostly just going back to New Vegas, trying to wrap some stuff up in New Vegas, because I brought my Xbox downstairs to where the big huge TV is downstairs. I'm saving all the PlayStation stuff for Christmas, so just been going through New Vegas, doing some of the side quests, and trying to get the rest of the achievements in Arkham City so I can get ready for Arkham Origins.
I forgot you picked up a PS3. Forgot about that.
I've yet to finish New Vegas.
I finished like vanilla New Vegas, but
Yeah.
none of the DLC.
I don't even have any DLC. No.
Well, past week or so then, Ryan, what have you been up to gaming wise?
I've been playing Sleeping Dogs, which turns out is bloody amazing.
It's fucking great. Isn't
I
it?
know. It is a Hong Kong movie in a game. I love it.
I mean, the thing I like about it is you're literally walking through that market and you're getting the whole, hey, we make you look good. We do cheap, my friend. And it's like...
So authentic.
Well, I can't say for sure because I haven't been there, but I racially imagine.
Yeah, that's how I imagine it too. Just Hong Kong people flying through alleyways, shooting and jumping from cars. That's just common. You know?
It's an everyday thing.
Aye.
Is it like that in Paris there, Bebsey?
Not really. A whole bunch of bread stores and cake stores, and then that's it, really.
Well, I mean, high quality baked goods is just as exciting as triad shootouts, I think.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, what they do is good, sure.
Yeah. And then games wise this week then, have you been up to anything fun and exciting?
I've been sticking with some Minecraft Feed the Beast.
Feed the Beast.
I've started to learn how to do Thorncraft, which took a while to figure out, because I was AFK for a minute, and in a very unsafe area, and I thought I was safe, and then I got nudged into lava and lost everything.
It's always the way.
Yeah, it's all like, these fancy gear that people gave me, I've lost, and they're not on to get some more, so I'll have to figure out how to do it myself.
Yeah, I mean, Feed the Beast again. I've tried it once and was like, this is intimidating, and then kind of stopped. So anyone who kind of learns the strings of that, much respect, because I can't.
It took ages because there's not really much of a guide out there, and each YouTube video you get only shows you a little bit of it, so you've got to find another YouTube video to fill in the gaps, and that misses something out, so you've got to have a chain of videos to figure out what was going on. But I've also been loading up the laptop with games to play on my 2-week vacation.
Yeah.
So I'm picking up some games that I've had for a while but not actually played yet, such as Lily Looking Through, which looks like a very happy and pleasant point-and-click style adventure game. So that's going to be interesting.
Sure. Your travel companion?
Yeah. And I noticed that Theme Park finally came out on GOG. So,
First or second?
Yeah, that's been on my... if you go on their voting list, you can vote for what games to put on. Theme Park's been at the top of my... It's the first thing I voted for years ago when I first joined up with GOG. And then I just randomly went to GOG last week and it said, "Oh, by the way, theme park now available." I'm like, "Oh!"
Ryan looks so happy right now.
I know. I'm going to get it now.
Well,
So
I did notice that some of the comments on there, like one person gave it like 5-star, 5-star, 5-star. One person gave it I can't remember if it's 2 or 3, but like their comments seemed fairly valid. They were saying that they got Theme Park when it first came out, and it was like all Bullfrog games. It was cheerful. It had charm.
Yeah.
But then he was worried that that was all it had, and it was all nostalgia, and that the interface was weird, and the gameplay limited. It's like, well, I guess maybe it's kind of valid remarks.
Yeah, it's like, but like, let me keep on my nostalgia goggles,
Yeah,
please.
you don't go to GOG for new concepts.
Yeah, it's good old games. Like. Yeah, very true, very true. Except they have that Divinity Dragon Commander
True.
on there.
Special one.
They actually have it on sale at the moment. $22.49 for the Imperial Edition, and I'm very tempted to get it, but I'm not sure. Apparently, I was just checking my Steam there. Apparently, I've written a review for Binding of Isaac. My review, it's a thumbs up, and it says "play this shit." That's my extensive review. Gaming wise, this week, my Steam's been much more active than previously. If you remember last week, it was something like 7 hours played in the past 2 weeks. I'm at 21.6 hours played in the last 2 weeks now, and that was mainly Team Fortress 2, but Bastion. I played about 3 hours of Bastion, and I don't understand why I never played it before. I think I had tried it with keyboard and mouse and hated it, and went back to it with controller this week and just loved it. I had always really liked the soundtrack, but the gameplay with keyboard and mouse kind of annoyed me. But I'm very glad I gave that another shot.
Yeah, they got their new game coming out early next year, I think. So that'll be interesting.
Yes, hopefully it turns out well. Because I'm really enjoying that. We don't have a whole lot of gaming topics this week, folks, but I want to mention The Hobbit, and everyone should go and see The Hobbit tomorrow. Tomorrow Friday. Yeah, because I know that we all are. And you should be also, Bebsey.
That's the Hobbit's Destination of Smoke.
Yes.
Or, The Hobbit Part 2, as it were.
Yeah.
Looks great.
The next 3 hours in a 9-hour film for a 12-page book. I can't wait. Should be fun. Gaming topic-wise, though, I think you said you have one, Ryan? Or Owen?
I think it was on.
Oh no, I just saw the story on Kotaku about the Fallout 4 rumours.
This is after the website that was a hoax. This is now the leaked documents thing.
Yeah, I've seen some of them a bit.
Yeah, voice actors have been auditioned, and some of them have, I think, come out and said they were working on it, something like that there. Apparently it's going to be set in Boston, with, if you ever played Fallout 3, you'd know is the Commonwealth. Awesome.
Well, from what I remember from a while back, the guy who played Three Dog in Fallout 3, like the most annoying video game character ever, Three Dog! Yeah. He's going to be doing something voice-wise in,
said that a while ago
in
now,
Fallout 4,
Twitter.
yeah. He announced that on his Twitter, and I mean, like a year ago. So hopefully...
Although, apparently I did hear rumours that a year ago they were scouting Boston out, so...
Yes, yeah. But again, we discussed this in a previous podcast, I think 2 or 3 weeks back, but they should hurry up and make one outside of America. Because that part of the world does exist.
China or Europe.
I've seen people argue, though, that a big part of it is like that sort of 50s Americana. And it wouldn't really work without it.
It is, but there is other stereotypes in the world that they can use. I mean, we don't know anything about the Chinese one or Europe because we're basically ignored.
They mention the Chinese occasionally throughout, New Vegas and 3 and stuff. But yeah, it would be nice to actually see it. Yeah.
Like imagine a Chinese communist propaganda Fallout. That would be amazing.
With robots.
Exactly.
Yes. Well, that's Japanese, like, but
yeah, but
it's basically just Pacific Rim. That's what happened.
As long as there's a sprint button, I'll be happy.
What? No. You should be slapped for that.
Why? I agree.
Because
that's the one thing I hate about those games is I can't run like I can do it in Skyrim.
It's because it's not an action game. It's an RPG. Pure
No, but
RPG.
Skyrim's
That's
an RPG
why
and you can
the
run as well.
shooting absolutely sucks in it. Yeah.
But damn.
I don't know. They should give you a fairly strict stamina bar.
Or just
But-
buy it on the PC and get a mod for sprinting. There you go.
That's what I did. I actually went a little bit over the top with it and installed like the Warhammer 40k Space Marine mod, so you can sprint like ridiculously fast and jump like 20 feet in the air. But yeah, I did that on Fallout and Skyrim, and it's very much worth it.
Mhm.
Not really gaming news, but I'm assuming everyone's heard about that Nelson Mandela thing, where the guy signing at his memorial service was
Yeah.
just making it up. Apparently they've found him now, and he claims he was having like a schizophrenic attack during it, and he didn't know what he was doing. Like,
Yeah, apparently the sign language guy just was flailing his arms about
yeah,
and making it up.
Well-
Wish I saw it.
I mean,
Not that I know the difference.
Yeah.
I saw it and goes, oh, that looks pretty real.
yeah, I mean, you can see he did do like the same motions like over and over, like repeatedly, and someone made like a dubbed over version of it where it's just like song lyrics.
Just dancing to them. Actually, now that you have that website up, I do remember that GOG has recently announced that they are refunding games that don't work anymore.
Really? Wow. I must get on them about that because I
Yeah.
have a few that don't.
Yeah, games now that old games that don't work in your modern system can be refunded for the money.
Nice, because I know I have Leisure Suit Larry,
Mhm.
and that does not work properly on my computer.
I have an old point and click game where I can't exit the game at all without having to shut down my entire computer.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I mean, Strikes at Zero works, but it's ridiculously temperamental for me.
And that's a recent game.
But like, it Strikes at Zero. So,
Yeah.
I mean, I
Indeed.
can deal with the problems because it's mechs in space. It's basically just Gundam, but like done properly. Because they haven't done a Gundam game properly yet. They reskinned the Dynasty Warriors once, well, actually like 3 times, and they were just terrible.
I didn't
Like,
even know there was one.
Like they just, it was Dynasty Warriors Gundam, and there was 3 of them, and they just kind of progressively got worse.
Okay.
So, yeah.
So that's good old games. Then I'm not familiar with the service. Is this for like really sort of nostalgia?
Console exclusives wouldn't be.
Just every great game you've
Just
played.
because I play console.
Yes.
Yeah, but you don't need. The good thing about it is you don't need an amazing PC to play any of these games because they're all shitty
Really old.
graphics.
Yeah, I mean, they're the hardware that was needed to play those games when they came out is like beneath average for now.
In fact, in some games, a good PC is probably a detriment.
Yeah.
So,
Yep. Well, I found that with fucking like Leisure Suit Larry.
yeah.
It's not even hit like the remastered version. It just barely runs. It's like,
I actually have a game. I don't think it's on GOG, but it's called 13. But because it was made for one core, it basically runs 4 times the speed it normally was, and you're just flying around the map, not knowing what to do.
I believe that is on GOG, and I think that's where I got my copy from. And so that one runs fine. So if you want to play a quirky shooter from the end of the 90s, then that's your place.
True, it's an amazing game.
I'm
It'll
trying to
get
find
work.
it on there, but it doesn't want to load. Humble bundles. What do you folks think of humble bundles? I have like a love-hate relationship with humble bundles, and it might be because that anytime I see a game on sale, a lot of times I buy it. Do you know, if I'm at all interested in that game, it happened to me with Brutal Agent as well as a few others. And then about 2 weeks after I buy it, they're on a humble bundle sale with like 7 other games that I've also just bought recently, and I'm always like disgusted. But there's been a couple of amazing ones, like the EA one with Battlefield 3 and Dead Space 3, and
That was amazing. Well, that was a rare humble bundle.
yeah, I
so-
mean the THQ bundle
oh,
as
yeah.
well was fantastic.
Yeah.
But I don't know, it's getting to the point now where I think like there's the Humble Bundle sale, and then there's the Humble Bundle weekly sale, and then there's the Humble Bundle mobile sale.
Is there
and
a
then-
daily one as well?
yeah, and then they have their like daily store which they update, and it's like a lot of the same games over and over now.
True.
It seems like
I'm pretty sure I bought every game now available that they sell.
yeah, like I mean, like post Humble Bundle 6 or 7, it was just more or less the same game continuously.
Not that it matters. I mean, I got them cheap, so.
Yeah.
And although I have to say one thing is, I maybe played 1% of all the games I bought on it.
Well, I think that's true for everyone. Like they see a Humble Bundle with like 9 games in, they're like, wow, 1.5 of those looks interesting. And because it's like a penny, you buy it.
Yeah.
There was a while there where the Binding of Isaac was on like 3 Humble Bundles in a row, and there was just so many keys for like the Steam keys for Binding of Isaac just flying around the entire internet for so long there. I think literally everyone in the world has a copy of the Binding of Isaac.
Yeah, I do. I haven't played it.
Yeah. I think you mentioned it previously, Bebsey. Have you played it?
Yeah, I have it. I've done a little bit with keyboard because for some reason I can't get Joy to key to work properly.
It's easier on keyboard, I think.
Yeah,
That's rare.
Yeah, very.
really, it was kicking my ass.
It's a tough old game.
Yeah,
So does, I mean, I've played over 50 hours in it and I've never beaten it.
I'm
tough.
very interested to see where Rebirth is.
Yeah, it should be it's like the non-Flash version.
Yeah,
It's going to have more content and more this and more that, and hopefully that turns out well too, because that will be good. Speaking of which, I just got an email from Humble Bundle. Their new weekly sale is out. Rising Storm, Rock of Ages, Dwarves, Killing Floor, Xenoclash 2, and 5 soundtracks.
Not interested in a single one.
Yeah. Something else I wanted to speak about, actually. I heard this yesterday, I'm not sure if it's true or not. Titanfall, it's going to be multiplayer only. There's going to be no campaign.
Yeah. That's always been known.
I heard that for the first time yesterday.
Well, I mean, it's weird. It's like the first time it's ever been done. It's basically single player built into the multiplayer. Like when you start the match, this says one example, there'll be NPCs talking and stuff to you and giving orders and stuff. Even though it is a multiplayer game, it's weird. All the story is done on multiplayer.
I'm not sure how I feel about that.
It could turn out amazing or absolutely shit.
They're basically just making a console-based MMO then.
Yeah, well,
That seems to be the way things are going.
it's just more like a Halo-only online game. Think about it. With story.
But does that mean then to play it you're always going to have to be connected to the internet?
Yeah, basically.
Come on, games, like, have we not learned about that
Yeah, I
recently?
know.
Like, with SimCity, did that not happen?
Yeah.
Did Diablo 3
Travesty.
not happen?
Aye.
I literally only heard about this yesterday, that it's multiplayer only.
Aye.
I think that's a ridiculously stupid move. And again, the
But
fact
next
that...
What?
But next
And another thing as well, I mean, I just don't think it looks that interesting of a game. It just looks like Call of Duty with a bit more sci-fi.
Mm-hmm.
It's just...
Yeah, I mean, it was probably one of the most queued games at Eurogamer, and it was one of the few games I didn't line up to see. As well as Call of Duty and Battlefield, I didn't go anywhere near those. But those two, Titanfall and Pokemon X and Y, were like packed out the entire weekend. And I just avoided all 4. But Titanfall, I was kind of excited for it at one point. I was like, well, I suppose it'll be fun, like, you get to use Titans and stuff. But then again, I found it was multiplayer only, and I was like, oh, fuck this. And I mean, we already have another Halo rip-off coming out, like Destiny is coming out.
Oh yeah, no,
that's
Halo 2
really exciting.
Yeah, it's just Halo 7 with a reskin. But if they do that well, I think that'll work. But again, I think they're trying to integrate multiplayer a lot to that.
Well, I think that is an MMO, isn't it? I think. Or at least in some form. There's going to be a lot of players on it, as far as I'm aware.
I think they are trying to make some kind of integration like that, yeah, where it's very multiplayer focused.
Seems everyone's just avoiding using the word MMO.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, Defiance was one of the first games to do that. It came out cross-platform, and it was an MMO.
Yeah.
And it wasn't actually a bad game for a non-subscription MMO.
Did anyone really play it though?
I did.
Great.
For like 3 hours.
Great. Yeah, just sitting there by yourself.
I mean, I played about 3 hours of Defiance, but it's really cheap now.
Right.
Like you can pick it up pre-owned on console for like 3-4 quid. and it's worth that. Like, it's worth that.
I think it's only worth that if people are actually playing it, and I don't know if anyone is.
But there's a decent story. Like, you get to do so many gather missions. Yeah.
Fun.
Is that the one based on the TV show?
Well, actually, the TV show was based on the game.
The TV show was based on the game.
And
the TV show was decent.
Apparently, the TV show was connected, but I don't think that was true at all.
Apparently, things that happened in the game world, apparently, then they would like film and doing the TV show or something. But no, basically, they just had the story that happened in the game. They just already had it pre-scripted to run alongside the TV show anyway. It's not like your dynamic actions can affect what happens in the show.
Yeah.
So no.
And I think there's only like one season as well.
Of the show? Yeah, there is.
Although that model's actually been used by that Xbox exclusive game. Quantum Leap, is it? The one where...
Or something,
Quantum Break or something like that there. It's like they're putting the episodes on the disc, and somehow the episodes change or something depending on how you play the game. I mean, I don't know. I mean, it's from the guys that made Alan Wake, so it could be good, but...
Yeah, well, because it's the guys who made Alan Wake, it'll either be good or terrible. I think
true.
Because Alan Wake's American Nightmare was crap.
That's a shame.
But Alan Wake and its 2 DLCs were great. But I wish they would just make Alan Wake 2 instead of...
Yeah, same. I wanted to make more Alan Wake.
And stuff like just please make Alan Wake 2. It's one of the few games where I own more than one copy of.
Was that one I tried for half an hour and couldn't figure out how to pick something up and then put the controller down?
I don't think that was Alan Wake, because when you're picking something up, it comes up on the screen, press B to pick up.
Yeah, it's pretty simple.
And then you press B and you pick it up.
Yeah.
So I don't think so, but never know with you. That's kind of how I am with the Batman Arkham games, though. Like, I play them and I'm like, oh, this is so good, and I play for like 6 hours, and then I get stuck and then don't look at the game again for 3 weeks.
I did that once as well. I got stuck on the first game. I couldn't beat the Joker. I got stuck in the second game. Couldn't beat the Joker again. Eventually, it was like months there. I went, oh, I'm going to complete it. And I finally did. And it was worth it.
I think those 2 games are the only 2 games I've ever played binge played and got through them in 2 days.
Oh, I can
most other games I can just
there's a lot of stuff in like Arkham City.
Well, main story, get through the main story in 2 days, and then I go back then. Whereas other games I can do maybe like an hour or 2, then I go away and come back to it. An hour or 2 and go away and come back to it. Even really good ones. Because you know me, I'm kind of fidgety and don't sit long in one place.
I've only binge played one game, and I finished it in under 1 day.
What was it?
13. The game I was actually on about earlier.
I see.
It was one of my favourites.
I want to go around to everyone here and ask a question. Like, in recent times, like, you've more or less answered it already, but games where you've properly been hooked on, and you don't want to stop playing till you finish it. It used to happen with me frequently, but now it's become very rare. Like, it happened to me with Dragon Age 2. Like, I beat that in a weekend, as well as quite a few other games. I beat them in like a weekend. But the only time it's happened to me, probably in the last year and a half, is Civilization 5. Probably the only time it's happened to me in the last year and a half. But have you had anything like that recently, Bebsey, or?
Trying to think about recently. I don't think so. I think I've become so spoilt now with Steam and GOG and Humble Bundles that games are just too common.
Yeah.
Like back in the day, it used to be just like, all the GTAs, for some reason, they seem to get their claws into me. The Fallout as well. Fallout 3 was all I would do.
Yep.
So all I'd get back is like, Fallout 3, and I'd play that till that was fully completed. What else was there? And like I said, I think last week or week before was Final Fantasy 7, was I just sat there and played that as much as I could. But these days, nothing's really capturing me.
Yeah, I mean, I think because of the pure accessibility of cheap games, the Steam has ruined gaming for us. Hate it. Get out of here. It's basically what you had mentioned before in previous weeks, where you would go to a local game shop, find one game, pick it up and play that for weeks and then buy another one. I liked it when things were like that, as opposed to just opening Steam and there's this big list that I can just play from. And more often than not, I'll just look through the list and go, I can't decide, and just close it and watch a video or something instead, and it's heartbreaking.
I mean, if I didn't have a lot of uni work to finish, I would be playing Sleeping Dogs non-stop. Every time I have the exit, I'm like, I don't want to. Yeah. I just want to keep playing it, but no, it would be that if I could.
Sleeping Dogs, it's really good, and they have a couple of like small DLCs.
Do they?
As well?
Oh yeah, they do have
pretty funny
costume stuff, don't they? Oh, they have a zombie one.
They do. They have Nightmare in North Point, and they have Year of the Dragon, 2 short DLCs. But Sleeping Dogs doesn't really take itself seriously DLC wise. Its DLCs are like blatantly parodies of bad Hong Kong martial arts films.
That's the best type.
And they are hilarious. Like there's another one. It's like a fighting tournament thing. It's basically just blood sport, having the piss taken out of it. And it's hilarious. Like Sleeping Dogs is probably one of my favourite games in the last couple of years. Actually, I got that last year on the Steam Christmas sale. It was on a flash sale, I think, and for the first maybe 7 minutes of it being on sale, it was glitched at 91% off, and that's when I got Sleeping Dogs. And it was like £3, and I was like, yeah. But I remember loving that. So it is.
Even at £10 or something, I'd say even now it'd be worth it. I mean, it's just that great.
It's worth it. Definitely.
There's a video on Michael's channel of me having a rampage in that game because I decided not to follow any of the main story missions and just drive around causing chaos.
Actually, funny, it's weird. Normally in games like that, open world games, I would drive around and not care about anything. But nowadays it's weird. I don't know if it's either matured or graphics have become so good that I'm like, I don't want to knock over that person. He could have a family.
It's not so much that I want to knock them. It's not so much that I want to knock them over in the game. It's just that I'm a very bad driver. And if my driving skills in games are any indication, I probably shouldn't enter driving in real life.
Well, if my driving skills in real life are any indication, I shouldn't drive in games.
Yeah.
I test drove a car last night. Bebsey, I was telling these two guys before. I test drove a car last night, and I literally just had to take it from parked, drive it straight down the street, and turn it around and bring it back. And I almost crashed twice. I took off far too quickly and had to do a big swerve out, but past one car and then back in before hitting another one. And then as I was turning it, I was kind of turning it really, really tightly and almost clipped another car.
You're frantically looking for the X and Y buttons.
Yeah. And only a few days before your test.
Yeah, my driving test is tomorrow morning, and that's the point I'm at. It'll be fine. I think I just need some good luck, some good karma.
Yeah, sure.
Lots of beer.
Yeah, that'll help.
That'll be fine. Attempt number 3 on the driving test. Third time lucky.
Third time lucky.
Says I.
Should go for the record for the most amount of tries.
I'll just play a lot of split second velocity tonight and just get myself ready for it. Just get pumped.
Burnout, crash into other cars. That's how it works in real life. It's going on more red.
I mean,
crash.
As long as you speed away from the police, and then you get outside this imaginary circle that pops up whenever you run away from them, they just forget about you.
Exactly, because there's no helicopters.
No.
Hide in the hay barrel.
There's always helicopters.
Find the wanted star and get your wanted lowered.
Exactly.
If video games have taught us anything.
I was always a little bit annoyed back in the day when I was trying to do my driving test. Actually, I think it was a year or so before I was going to start driving, and I was really into playing Carmageddon. And so I was driving, doing some tests, and he just made the random comment of, "Now remember, this isn't your video games." Don't, I was like, but he was serious. He was very clear, this is very different. I'm like, yeah, I know that this is different. And so I was quite insulted by that, and I think I have remained so ever since then.
You're like, my lines of reality are not blurred, Father.
Yeah, but I guess that's the difference between the generations.
Yeah, I wonder
Same thing for all the people who say, oh, video games cause the violence and these,
those mentals. Is that the video games violence thing? I know we covered it again a few weeks ago, but it's just so stupid. It just really is.
Yeah, I mean,
so dumb.
There's absolutely millions upon gamers. Obviously, a few of them are going to be psychotic.
Yeah.
It's just like film goers. Some of them are going to be crazy.
I mean, this is probably really inappropriate, but I think you should film gores. I've seen the picture of the guy who did that the cinema shooting during the Batman movie in America. And it's literally just a picture of him looking like a mixture between confused and angry. I was like, I told her to stop kicking my seat. And I laughed harder at that than I should have done.
Yeah,
probably
should have laughed
and I'm just announcing this on a public forum. Offensive jokes are best jokes, I think.
Yeah, you're well known for
that's
your
where we disagree.
offensive jokes.
Well, the stuff that's been happening during my night shift is a guy next to me is very well known for being fair like that, and he was always looking up jokes about Paul Walker crashing, and now Nelson Mandela as well, and they kept just looking up all these really bad jokes and sometimes posting his own on Facebook.
This is a month for those sort of people.
Yeah,
I mean, I do believe that too soon is a thing, and like a day later is a bit too soon. Like, but I mean, R.I.P. Nelson Mandela. The Fast and Furious movies will never be the same again. That's all I have to say on that. Final Fantasy VII.
Final Fantasy VII.
We know Bebsey loves it. Has anyone else here played it?
I have played it.
I have not played a single Final Fantasy game.
What? At all? Even X?
None. I was gonna buy 13, but Michael stopped me.
What?
It was crap.
Oh, okay.
I mean,
I've never played the 13, so...
I mean, I played 13, and it was like the first Final Fantasy game I'd ever played, and I hated it.
Yeah.
I tried X, I got to the end of X and tried it, and then I think I liked it, but I got lost or stuck or wasn't sure what to do and just gave up.
I mean, if bit of advice, I'd say wait for the HD version of X, which I don't know when it's coming out, but next couple of months.
It was playable at Eurogamer, as well as the HD version of X2, so I'm assuming it'll be soon enough.
Yeah, hopefully Christmas.
But Final Fantasy VII, I've played 26 minutes, and I'm not sure all my feels.
Well, I know my feels. I don't like it at all. I bloody hate it. Maybe it's because I died really, really, really quickly. I'm sure that was part of it, but also part of it was...
How different is it compared to X then?
Far different. X was just so much more advanced than 7. I mean, going back to the older ones, you're like... I mean, I know they're legendary and stuff they got there, but still, times have moved on.
I mean, I think because I'm like an anime fan and like a video game fan, I feel like I need to like Final Fantasy, but I just don't. I want to, but I don't.
There's far better Japanese games out there.
Yeah, Pokemon.
I've never played it, but it's weird. I heard that their Catherine game was actually pretty good.
I've played a bit of it. It's okay. I think I probably haven't played enough of it to really comment on it, but
apparently it's pretty long.
Yeah, what I played was I thought it was okay.
Persona 4 as well. Apparently that's amazing.
Never played that, but my brother has it on the Vita and he swears by it. Apparently it's fantastic.
But I've not really been interested in Final Fantasy in ages. I mean, I got halfway through 10 and then just gave up on it. Then I went to play one of my friends' Final Fantasy 9. So I played that and enjoyed that more than I did 10. 11 really didn't get into. 12 didn't even get it. 13 don't care. So it's as the series has progressed, I don't know if it's just because the games or if it's just our attitude towards games.
What about 13-2, Bebsey? It was a game that everyone loved.
Exactly. Yeah, I think at this point, There's been enough Final Fantasy games.
Yeah, just stop. Squeenix, just stop it! There's a possibility, though, of them actually outsourcing the next one to a Western company, so it'll be, like, completely different.
Strange. Although, I mean, that's not actually that bad because, I mean, I know some people are probably going to get on to me about this, but I think Japanese developers recently have been pretty lazy.
Wow.
They've been just remaking everything they've already done. I mean, at one stage they were amazing at RPGs.
Well,
now they've been overtaken.
People want to remix, they don't want the new stuff.
Yeah, but it's just boring now.
But, like, Fire Emblem?
Exactly. It's just Pokemon over and over and over. It's like the worst one, the worst offender ever, which I bloody despise, is Nintendo. I cannot stand any Mario game or Zelda or anything yet. It is just rehashes of the 30-year-old games.
The exact same.
Exact one. Make a new one.
Oh, if it's working for them, you know what I mean? You can't really blame them if it's working for them.
Well, it's not working on Wii U.
Bastards. But I wanted to play the first Mario game from the Game Boy. I have it on my 3DS through the virtual store. And I tried to play it yesterday on the bus. Because the 3DS XL is that big though, I had to sit, with my arms fairly spread, and there was like a fat dude beside me on the bus, so I just couldn't play comfortably. And I got to like the second level. I was like, this is so shit. But it was like that game was like the highlight of my childhood. Like it was like one of the first games I ever played was the original Super Mario, or was it just Mario? I don't know. On the black and white Game Boy. And it was so good at the time, but maybe it was just because I had to like sit kind of half sideways. But hashtag nostalgia. I want to ask everyone also about your favourite genre of game. We'll start with Ryan this time.
Okay.
No pressure.
Can I say more than one?
Top three.
Okay, top three. Fair enough. That's easy.
In no particular order.
Okay. RPG, first of all. I just think they're amazing. They have amazing stories. Well, most of them do. I just love unlocking things. It's an addiction. You have to unlock the next thing. Yeah. After that, it would be point and click. That's just stuff I grew up with on PC. Like Broken Sword. There's a new Broken Sword coming out as well. Those are just amazing. I mean, I just can't get enough of point and click adventures. I've been like buying a whole lot of them on GOG. For the third one, that's the vote. I can't actually think of a third one. Maybe Space Simulation.
Wow, that's a very...
Or RTS, maybe.
Space Simulation's a very specific genre. It is. Right there. Space Sims. What about you then, Owen? Genre-wise? Assassin's Creed isn't a genre.
Action adventure. Platformers. Really love me some platformers. Particularly Prince of Persia. The Sands of Time trilogy is probably one of my favourite game trilogies ever. And RPGs as well. I can't tell you how much time I've sunk into Skyrim and New Vegas. And Witcher 2.
Witcher 2, one of those games I really want to like more than I actually do. The combat system annoyed me, so it did.
And the first one?
Witcher 2.
Oh,
Witcher 1's just unplayably bad. So it is. It's just like, I tried it, I went back maybe 6 months later and was like, maybe I was just a little bit too harsh. Yeah. I wasn't. It's literally unplayable.
And another great series I only got into recently, I'm sort of late to the party on, was the Uncharted games. It's basically everything I'm looking for in a game.
Same game 3 times. and then they made a handheld version.
Yeah, I have the first one. I got it pretty recently, but I didn't really see the hype.
Have you noticed
I just love it because it's got history and platforming and
it's got
excellent writing.
Fake history.
Fake history, you know what I mean? Pseudo history.
Yeah.
Have you ever noticed how, like, even if you're buying a used copy of the Uncharted series, the first one's the most expensive? Like, the first one is £6 in CEX, the second one is £4, and the third one is £5.
Probably
like, but
matching quality, maybe.
Yeah, possibly. Genre-wise for you, Bebsey, what do you think?
kind of going over the same as the other two guys. I mean, top of the list is Point and Click Adventure because Monkey Island all the way. Day the Tentacle, Full Throttle. I might even put Grim Fandango in that list, even though it's not quite Point and Click Adventure.
I think it just counts as adventure.
And then there's action platformers such as Uncharted and Tomb Raider. And then I think third, probably action RPG, maybe. Because, there's RPGs and there's action RPGs.
Would you consider like Mass Effect an action RPG?
Um,
Or what?
Better question, would you consider Mass Effect an RPG?
Yeah, I think I probably would, because there's some story, you can do some customization. In my head I was thinking Fallout, but Mass Effect is along the same lines as well.
And then you get to choose red, blue, or green endings. Mass Effect 3.
Oh, they added the fourth one. Don't forget that.
What colour is it?
Well, it's not colour. It's a little space child.
Oh, the Space Child.
Yeah,
God, Mass Effect.
yeah.
I played 1 and 2, and then I never played 3.
Yeah, that's actually, to be fair, if you want to play any, just play the first one and just make up your own story after that.
Just play Mass Effect 2.
2 was pretty amazing.
One's the best.
I never played Mass Effect 1. I walked in on my brother playing it once, and he had like a red sniper rifle.
Yeah.
I was like, what the fuck is that thing made of plastic? And that just put me off the game. I don't know why.
You should put out of all of them, that was the only one that I considered to be a real RPG.
I never even finished Mass Effect 3. I did mean to go back to it, and I was like, nah. Then I just watched the endings on YouTube instead.
Well, technically, I don't think anyone truly finished Mass Effect 3. Because no one got the ending we wanted, ever. Genre-wise, for me, it's a tough one. Third-person shooter probably has to be there because of Vanquish. More or less just Vanquish. And the newer Splinter Cell, the Conviction and Blacklist. You could probably kind of class those as stealth shooters or something. But that would be in there. RPG, always. Dragon Age, one of the best games I've ever played. God damn it.
Someone's about to get beaten up.
True. Dragon Age as a genre itself. Did I also mention Dragon Age? And I'm not sure if it would be RTS strategy. Between RTS and tower defense, it's a tough call, because there's a lot of tower defense games there that are like hybrid with other styles, like Sanctum. It's a tower defense, but there's first person shooter elements. Or Orcs Must Die, it's a tower defense, but there's third person action aspects. Or games like Unstoppable Gorg, where it's like space kind of tower defense. And there's games like Anomaly, where it's a reverse tower defense, where you are the mobs destroying the towers and trying to get to the end point. I think my love for tower defense actually spawned from a Flash game I played as a child, where I think you are Mario in a castle, and it's just like a side-on tower defense, and you have to buy like machine guns and things to defend this castle. And I've tried to find this game again in recent years and haven't been able to, but I think it all came from that mostly.
Maybe it was all your imagination.
Yeah, I just made up like 3 years of my life. Does anyone remember the old like Red Riding Hood game? We used to have it on our computers at school. So we did, and it was like, I'm trying to remember. Like, I found it recently to buy. It's so expensive. But it's basically a point and click, but you have to answer like questions and stuff. You find like little Red Riding Hood scarf and things, and so you want to pick up the scarf. What is 5 + 4? Because it had to be educational.
Yeah.
But that was great.
We did have a game like that. I don't know the name of it. I don't even know what it was about, but stuff like that. It was actually pretty fun.
Yeah.
I always love going on. I was like, hey, this is great, and going back to this boy.
Yeah, my outside of the three genres I listed, point and click would probably be next. I've been playing Dracula Origins, which is like a point and click where you're playing as Professor Van Helsing, trying to find a way to kill Dracula.
Hopefully not Keanu Reeves version.
No, no, shut up, you. Or the Hugh Jackman Van Helsing.
That was pretty cool.
Hugh Jackman's Van Helsing would not make a good professor.
No,
I don't think. Bub. But yeah, point and click from Dracula Origins and the Deponia series. It's only a genre I've gotten into very recently, but I'm enjoying them. I've also been recommended I play Sam and Max.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yes.
And I watched the Let's Play of that, and that looks like that's just my brand of humour all over.
Depends which one we're talking. Sam and Max Hit the Road or Sam and Max 3D
Dish in Time.
I think it was the Let's Play of the very first one that I had watched. Hit the Road, I think, where there's like they go to the Wool Museum.
Yeah.
The one for they're searching for the Bigfoot thing.
Yep.
Yeah, that one.
Okay.
That looks awesome. So,
the only thing I have to say about them is they're a bit short, but they're fun and funny.
Well, it was back when games were starting to get big, so they were just like toying with new concepts, and it's kind of a shame that they kind of dropped the genre just as everything all exploded into popularity.
Talking about that actually reminds me, Telltale are doing Game of Thrones game.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, I'm not sure if we talked about it last week or not.
It was rumoured last week, but I think they confirmed it last weekend.
Yeah, it was announced at the VGX.
Oh, they're doing Game of Thrones and Borderlands.
Mm-hmm.
Why did I see? I knew there was another point and click game I was forgetting about. The Walking Dead.
Aye.
That was amazing. Cried manly tears at the end of that.
That's another one I picked up, started, mean to go back to, but just don't.
That's a big recommendation.
I'm like halfway through episode 1.
Jeez, I would say not to bother with the DLC for that unless you get it like on sale.
I think I did. I think I got it on sale last week.
Yeah, I think it's
And
like
it was
a $5 or so, but I got it $1.99 on sale, and it's the amount of content and it's worth $1.99, but not much more.
Yeah. See, I've not pre-ordered season 2 yet.
Either have I. I've seen the pre-order like 10% discounted a few places, but I haven't gone for it. But I'm also really interested in that The Wolf Among Us.
Yeah, the game.
Yeah.
I got that, and I've been wanting to get to that, but it looks a little dark and gritty, and that's not really what I want at the moment.
It's
but
pretty dark.
People have been saying that what they've done with it is great, and I was like, okay, this is going to be interesting.
One thing I have to say, a top tip: if you have a tablet, you can actually get it for like £3. It's the exact same game.
The Walking Dead or the Wolf Among Us?
No, the Wolf Among Us. Not a single difference between the games, but a lot cheaper.
Is it available on iPhone?
Well, it's an iOS one, so I assume so.
I'm going to actually check that right now because for £3 I would buy that like right the fuck now.
Yeah, because when it came out, I was like, oh, I really want to get it, but it's a bit expensive.
Yeah.
But as soon as the tablet version was announced, I was like, I'm getting it, definitely.
Yeah.
I caught someone doing a little bit of a let's play of it, and I was like, oh, this, it's because I'd seen Telltale do their games, and I was like, oh, this is just going to be a reskinned this or that or the other. But they did something, well, technically, yes, it is. They did do things differently, and so I was like, just watching like the first 10 minutes, I was like, yep, sold. I must get. And of course, I recognise Steve Bloom's voice as the main guy. So anything with Steve Bloom in, I tend to support because I like Steve Bloom. He shows up in a lot of things as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm reading the reviews here for this The Wolf Among Us. It is $2.99 on iOS, and it's got an average of 3.5 stars. But all the negative reviews are people who just like
can't play it.
Their game crashed once and they gave up, or they downloaded the game and that like basically filled up the rest of the memory on their phone, so it's a little bit laggy, and they're like giving it 1-star reviews because of that. It's like it's not the game's fault because you don't know how to compute.
Yeah, no, I saw some reviews where like it's like oh, this game's not compatible with my iPhone. I'm like, oh well, should have read the list.
Here's a 1-star review from the 7th of December by user Diplodocon. This doesn't work. Pointless. It's just a 1-star review. Like,
It reminds me of things of
the game works fine.
yeah.
it reminds me of Amazon reviews where I see like 1 star and it's like why it was late arriving.
Yes.
And it's like what the and they go on, they might even sometimes go on to say, oh yeah, product worked fine but it arrived a day later than it should have. Rant.
Yeah.
1 star. It's like really fantastic, well done.
The worst I've seen though on Amazon are like the 5 stars of games that haven't even been released yet.
Yeah.
Oh,
Or the 1-stars of games that haven't been released yet.
as soon as it's announced that it's got DRM, it's like 1.
Yeah. It really is.
Just drag down the score.
Mm.
And the one and attempt to drag down the score.
And then you can see it on Metacritic as well.
Which never really makes a
Alright.
change. But it never makes a difference anyway, because people always go and try and vote down those really popular series, and they end up doing just as well anyway. It's not going to make any difference.
Well, like gaming hipsters.
Mm.
Damn
Well,
those gaming hipsters.
Oh, how are you all with mobile gaming? I don't like. I'm not sure how popular it actually is with people who've been gaming for the majority of their lifespan. I mobile game a bit. The only reason I don't as much, and I don't mean handheld games. I mean like phone or tablet.
Yeah.
The reason I don't is because I have my phone filled with music, so I don't have space to download them. Otherwise, I would. Infinity Blade was awesome. The Walking Dead for iPhone episode 1 was actually free for a while.
Yeah.
That was awesome. Syndicate actually from YouTube has a game out, Zombie Killer Squad, but it has microtransactions, so fuck that. Kingdom Rush, which is tower defense, and Kingdom Rush Frontiers, which is great, and Plants vs Zombies 2. The fantastic games on mobile. But again, I'm not sure how popular it is with others. How about you, Bebsey? Have you played a lot of mobile games, or would it not really be your...
It's not really something I have the opportunity to do. I mean, it used to be I had a bus to go to work and I had my Nintendo DS, and I might do some Professor Layton or some Phoenix Wright. But as for my phone, I don't think I've installed a single game on it. And I've got an old iPhone 3GS, so it's quite old hardware, and each time I try and update the firmware, it wipes the phone, so I stopped doing that a few versions back.
Yeah.
And a lot of the apps say, oh, sorry, your iOS version is not the right version to put on this program. So it's like, well, stuff that
if
then.
you update your iOS version, does it wipe everything on the phone then?
It tends to. Sometimes, I back it up, and I try and do restore, and it goes, oh, there's an error.
You back it up.
Things I made a backup of the backup, and even that said, "Oh, there's an error," and it wiped everything. I was like, so I've just really not been in, because there's no real need. Because right now I use it for,
Calls.
Twitter and Maps, and then that's it. And they don't need iOS updating.
Yeah, I mean, I still haven't gone iOS 7, but after hearing now that it'll wipe my phone, I'm not going to.
Although I was actually fine with my update. Turned out alright.
For 7?
Mm-hmm.
But you don't have an iPhone?
iPad.
I see.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, it looks nice. I like how iOS 7 looks, but I don't want to have to drag like 14 gigs of music back onto my phone and sit and wait for it.
Aye.
But again, it might finally give me that chance to actually install games on the phone and maybe use an iPod or something for music.
Actually, my iPad's actually filled with games. I play on tablet all the time, basically.
Yeah.
At the start, it was really terrible. It was just Angry Birds, and well, that was about it. And but nowadays, people are actually starting to make proper games. Like Terraria is on it, and that's awesome. Minecraft is not as good as the desktop version, obviously.
Mobile Minecraft is terrible.
There is a few other ones. Oh, XCOM.
Yeah.
Which is basically the full game, except for missing just a few maps, but otherwise it's great. I actually think the tablets would be amazing for strategy games. RTS in particular, I think
Yeah.
it'll be, and turn-based stuff. I mean, imagine Civilization on tablet.
It must exist.
There,
I had a Civilization game on this,
Yeah.
or not even on this, on my old phone, which wasn't even a smartphone.
there was one called Civ Rev, but it wasn't really the full version. It was meant more for the older phones. But nowadays they probably could get away with something like Civ 4.
Yeah,
They did.
yeah. That'd be you one.
I played Temple Run for half an hour.
Yeah.
When before the last update, I did last update my iPod. I played one of those farm games. Forgive me, but I played one of the farm games, one of the free versions of one of the farm games for about 2 days.
Wow.
I've never really been into.
Do you mean like Farmville or like the Farm
Farm Simulator?
Simulator?
Oh
or
no, it was completely different. It was something like Zombie Farm or something like that. There,
Okay.
Wow.
we had to plant zombies and they came out of the ground and stuff. But
Plant vs Zombies.
no, you put the zombie. Like, oh, it doesn't matter.
You put the zombie in the ground
Yeah.
and the zombie comes out of the
The
ground.
plants march forward and eat
You
the
can check it out now,
zombies.
so I'm sure it's still there. But no, I played that for about a week, but then it was taken up, slowing everything down for me. So I've never been much into mobile games. They're too big. Thumbs are too big.
I mean, I understand why people don't like it. A lot of games suck at controls, stuff like that, and some of which are just basic casual games, no real games for people like us. But otherwise, yeah, I think it will get better.
Hopefully. I mean, it's the fact that Wolf Among Us is on there for $2.99.
Yeah.
The Walking Dead game is on there. Inevitably, the Game of Thrones and Borderlands Telltale games will be on there. Games like Infinity Blade. Because a lot of iOS games they're very basic, but
Yeah.
Infinity Blade it's just a full game. Especially now Infinity Blade 3, where if there's like co-op multiplayer and with alternate stories and stuff like
And
that.
actually, tonight, San Andreas came out.
On mobile, did it?
Yep.
Really? Wow. Let's
Uh,
see if it's on the.
Not sure what time at. Just read it this morning. It's out tonight.
Nice.
Been waiting for that for ages. I love San Andreas.
I mean, San Andreas was the Grand Theft Auto game I played more than any others, but it was just load up the game, spawn in weapons, spawn in helicopter, and murder people.
Yeah. I think actually I used so many cheats that I ruined my save and couldn't load it anymore.
It's out now. It's $4.99.
That's pretty good. Well,
Check
man.
that one out. I was talking about too. I want to see if it's still on the App Store.
What was it called?
It was like Zombie Farm or something. I can't remember the exact name.
That's not going to help me find it.
Zombies versus plants.
No.
Zombies versus other zombies.
So as long as the San Andreas there comes with the complete soundtrack, then everything's fine.
Oh, well, the other
'Cause-
games did so.
Well, I think there was a
the
couple where they couldn't get the licensing, so it was missing a soundtrack or two somewhere.
Yeah, I
I
think-
forget which one.
I think it was Grand Theft Auto 3. I think they were missing some stuff from that.
Yeah, I was like, oh, I was kind of a bit disappointed in that, but
Yeah, no, I want to listen to Freeburg again. Freeburg. Freebird.
Freeburg! Freeburg! Berg is innocent.
Yeah.
I wonder how long before GTA 5 comes to PC.
Yeah.
Oh, but we're not making a PC version. Lol joke. I don't like how they did that though, how they blatantly denied that they were making a PC version whenever everyone knew that they were going to make a PC version.
I mean, Nvidia basically said they were,
Yeah.
even if accidentally.
Then, of course, there's GTA Online, which I want to get into at some point, but I really just I've been watching other people play GTA Online, like Hat Films. Those guys do some fun things.
I heard that GTA Online was fun for a while, but now it's just kind of broken.
Yeah.
It's also, I mean, I'll be honest, it sort of gets a bit boring after a while. I mean, it's just GTA.
You have to like find your own things to do,
Yeah.
which is why, say, watching the Hat Films guys, you get three guys in a house together. Literally, they go off and find their own things to do, and they make it entertaining.
Yeah,
So
I'd say if you have a group of friends,
Yeah.
playing online would be pretty fun. But otherwise,
Strangely, there were-
friends.
there are games that seem to work better to watch than to play. Like I guess GTA Online, I might enjoy watching more than playing. And this week I've been watching the Game Grumps and watching them play through Mario Sunshine and Wind Waker HD, and while I would, well, I might want to play Wind Waker HD, but I would never want to play Mario Sunshine.
don't
But I
think anyone
enjoyed
does.
watching them play it.
See, another Mario game.
But at least it's
uh,
not like Super Mario Brothers, Sunshine, Brawl, Smash, Mention 2.
No, it's just the furry Mario this time.
Brawl Smash Mention 2.
Oh, Nintendo. We're at the hour mark anyway, folks, so we're going to wrap up. Thank you for listening to this week's babble of nonsense. We'll be back next week, same time, same place, and we'll see you all right back here. As always, if our guests want to provide me with any self-promotion links or whatever, they'll be in the description below. Thanks again for listening. Does everyone want to say bye-bye?
Goodbye.
Bye.
Goodbye.
Thank you guys. Bye-bye.